Stop, just for 1 second. Music. Stop. Stop chasing the people who left you on red. Stop begging for a seat at a table that was never built for you. Stop shrinking yourself down to fit into rooms that were too small for your soul from the very beginning. Because I need you to hear this, and I need you to hear it today. Your peace is not for sale. Not for a job, not for a relationship, not for approval from people who wouldn't lift a finger for you if the roles were reversed. Not for anybody's comfort at the cost of yours. You have been trading your peace for pennies. And today, that trade ends. Music. I don't know what brought you here. Maybe it's 2 a.m. and sleep won't come. Maybe you just got off a shift that drained everything you had left. Maybe somebody said something today that cut you so deep you're still bleeding from it right now. Maybe you're sitting in your car in a parking lot, engine off, just trying to breathe. I see you. And I'm not here to give you empty words. I'm not here to tell you to just think positive and disappear. I'm here to tell you the truth. The real truth. The one nobody tells you when you're falling apart. Here it is. You have been so busy keeping everybody else calm that you forgot you're allowed to be calm too. You've been so busy holding everyone else together that you never asked who's holding you. You've been the strong one, the reliable one, the one who never complains, the one who shows up every single time for everybody else and disappears quietly when it's your turn to be poured into. And somewhere along the way, you started believing that's just who you are. That's just your role. Give, 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 and ask for nothing. I'm telling you right now, that is not strength. That is self-abandonment wearing strength's clothes. Real strength is knowing when to walk away from what's costing you your peace. Real strength is saying no without a 2-page explanation. Real strength is valuing yourself enough to stop negotiating your worth with people who never had any intention of paying full price. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you protected your peace the way you protect everybody else's feelings? When was the last time you said, "This is hurting me and I'm done"? When was the last time you chose yourself? Not out of ego, not out of selfishness, but out of self-respect. If you're sitting there in silence right now because the answer is, "I can't remember," then this message was written for you. Because somewhere, somebody taught you that your needs are inconvenient, that your feelings are too much, that your boundaries make you difficult. And you believed them. You believed a lie. And that lie has been costing you your sleep, your joy, your health, your fire. No more. I want you to understand something about pain, real pain, the kind that sits in your chest like a stone. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is a messenger. It knocks on the door of your life and says, something here is no longer serving you. And most people, they slam the door in pain's face. They numb it. They distract it. They drown it in noise, in scrolling, in silence. But you're going to do something different today. You're going to open that door. You're going to sit with that pain and ask it, what are you trying to teach me? Because pain, when you face it, when you actually look it dead in the eye, pain becomes fuel. Pain becomes clarity. Pain becomes the exact thing that burns away everyone and everything that was never meant to stay in your life. Every person who ever disrespected your peace was showing you exactly who they are. Believe them. Every job that drained your soul for a paycheck that barely covered your bills was showing you exactly what it values. Believe it. Every relationship where you gave 100 and got back scraps was showing you exactly where you stood. Believe it. Stop hoping people will become who you need them to be. Start believing who they're already showing you they are. Now, here's where it gets hard. Here's where I stop being gentle with you because you don't need gentle right now. You need honest. You are not broke because you're lazy. You are not lost because you're weak. You are not tired because something is wrong with you. You are exhausted because you have been carrying weight that was never yours to carry. Other people's expectations, other people's opinions, other people's comfort, while your own dreams sat in the back seat, untouched, collecting dust. And I need you to understand, nobody is coming to save you from that. Nobody, not your family, not your friends, not the universe, not luck. You are the rescue. You are the one you've been waiting on. And that is not a burden. That is the greatest news you will hear all year, because it means the power was never outside of you. It was never in somebody else's hands. It was never dependent on being chosen, being noticed, being validated. It was in you the whole time. I want you to think about a version of yourself, the one before the world got its hands on you, before the rejection, before the heartbreak, before somebody told you that you weren't enough. That version of you believed anything was possible. That version of you danced without caring who was watching. That version of you dreamed out loud. What happened to that person? Life happened. Disappointment happened. People happened. And slowly, piece by piece, you started shrinking. You started apologizing for taking up space. You started asking permission to want more. You started dimming your own light so it wouldn't make somebody else uncomfortable. I'm telling you today, that ends now. You were not born to shrink. You were not built to make yourself smaller so someone else could feel bigger. You were not created to spend your one unrepeatable life being a background character in your own story. You are the main character. Start acting like it. Discipline. That word scares people because discipline sounds like punishment. Discipline sounds like restriction. But let me redefine it for you right now because you've been lied to about this too. Discipline is not punishment. Discipline is self-respect in action. Discipline is choosing your future over your feelings. Discipline is getting up when your body says stay down. Discipline is showing up on the days you don't feel like it. Because feelings change like the weather, but commitment doesn't bend to the weather. Motivation is a spark. It's loud, it's exciting, and it disappears the moment things get hard. Discipline is the fire that stays lit. When nobody's clapping, when nobody's watching, when there's no motivation left, just you, and the decision to keep going anyway. You don't need more motivation. You need discipline that doesn't care how you feel today. Because here's the truth. The people you admire, the ones who seem unstoppable, the ones who built the life you're praying for, they didn't feel like it either most days. They just did it anyway. They valued the vision more than the mood. They valued the future self more than the comfortable self. And that right there is the difference between the life you're dreaming about and the life you're still just dreaming about. Let's talk about people-pleasing. Let's talk about it directly because I know it's in this room. I know it's in you. You've said yes when your whole body screamed no. You've smiled through disrespect because you didn't want to cause problems. You've stayed silent while your peace got chipped away piece by piece because you were terrified of being called difficult, dramatic, too sensitive, too much. Let me tell you something about too much. You are not too much. You have been around people who are simply too little to hold what you carry. Some people can't handle a woman who knows her worth. Some people can't handle a man who has boundaries. Some people can't handle someone who has finally stopped performing and started living honestly. That's not your problem to fix. Stop editing yourself down to fit into spaces that were never built to hold your full self. You don't need to be smaller. You need better rooms. I want you to picture your peace like a house you built with your own hands, brick by brick, through everything you've survived, every heartbreak, every setback, every night you cried yourself to sleep and still woke up the next day. That's the foundation of this house. Now, would you let just anybody walk into that house? Would you let somebody track mud across the floor you bled to build? Would you let somebody rearrange your furniture, disrespect your space, disturb your peace just because they knocked? No. Then why do you let people do that to your mind, to your heart, to your energy? Not everybody gets a key to your peace. Not everybody deserves access to your emotions, your time, your attention. You are allowed to have standards for who gets to stay in your life. You are allowed to lock the door on people who only bring chaos. You are allowed to protect your house. Here's something nobody tells you about hitting rock bottom. Rock bottom is not the end of your story. Rock bottom is solid ground. It's the one place you can finally stand still, look up, and start building again, because there's nowhere left to fall. If you're at rock bottom right now, good. I don't say that to be cruel. I say it because rock bottom is where legends are forged. Rock bottom is where soft people become steel. Rock bottom is where you either stay down and let life write you off, or you use it as the launchpad for the greatest comeback of your life. Every person who ever inspired you, every name you admire, every story that gave you chills, they all have a rock bottom in their history, a moment where everything fell apart, a moment where the world counted them out. And they didn't get back up because it was easy. They got back up because staying down was no longer an option they were willing to accept. That same fire, it's in you right now. Buried, maybe. Exhausted, maybe. But it is not gone. I need you to stop asking, why is this happening to me? And start asking, what is this preparing me for? Because pain without purpose is just suffering. But pain with purpose, that's transformation. That job that let you go, maybe it was making room for the thing you were too comfortable to chase. That relationship that broke your heart, maybe it was teaching you what you will never again accept. That friend who betrayed you, maybe they were showing you how to finally trust your own gut instead of ignoring the signs. Nothing you have survived was wasted. Every scar is a signature, proof that you were tested and you did not disappear. You are still here. Say that to yourself. I am still here. After everything that tried to break you, you are still here. That is not luck. That is not coincidence. That is evidence. Evidence that there is something in you that refuses to quit, even when your mind was begging you to. Now, I want to build something with you. Right here, right now. I want you to imagine 1 year from today. 1 year from today, you have done the work. You protected your peace like it was sacred, because it is. You built discipline instead of waiting on motivation. You cut off what was draining you and made room for what fuels you. 1 year from today, you are stronger, calmer, clearer. You walk into rooms differently, not louder, not arrogant, just settled, grounded, unshakable. 1 year from today, the people who doubted you are watching quietly, wondering how you did it. And I'll tell you the secret right now so you don't have to wait a year to hear it. You did it by refusing every single day to trade your peace for approval. You did it by choosing discipline on the days you didn't feel disciplined. You did it by believing in yourself on the days nobody else did. You did it by getting back up every single time life knocked you down, not because it was easy, but because quitting was never who you decided to be. That version of you 1 year from now? It's real. It's not fantasy. It is one decision away. The only difference between you right now and that version of you is what you choose to do starting today. I know some of you are tired, bone-tired, soul-tired. The kind of tired sleep doesn't fix. I'm not going to tell you to just push through like your exhaustion doesn't matter. Rest. Rest is not weakness. Rest is maintenance for the machine that is about to carry you somewhere great. But there's a difference between resting and quitting. Rest and come back. Don't rest and disappear, because the world needs what you have. Whether you believe that right now or not, it's true. Somebody out there needs the version of you that survives this. Somebody out there needs the wisdom you're gaining right now in this very storm. Your comeback is not just for you. It's for everyone watching who needs proof that it's possible. So don't you dare quit in the chapter that was written to inspire someone else's survival. Let's talk about self-belief. Real self-belief, not the fake motivational poster kind. Self-belief is not waiting until you feel confident to act. Self-belief is acting, especially when you don't feel confident, because you trust that the confidence will catch up to the action. You don't have to feel ready. You have to move anyway. Every person who ever built something great started before they were ready, started scared, started shaking, started with doubt sitting right next to them in the car, but they drove anyway. That's the secret nobody wants to admit because it's not glamorous. It's not believe in yourself and everything falls into place. It's believe in yourself enough to take the next step, even while terrified, and let the falling into place happen later, on its own time. Stop waiting to feel unstoppable before you start. Start and become unstoppable in the process. I want you to say something with me right now, out loud if you can, or in your mind if you're somewhere quiet. Say, I am done shrinking. Say, my peace is not negotiable. Say, I choose myself, not out of selfishness, but out of self-respect. Say, I am not behind. I am exactly where my story needed me to be. Say, I will not abandon myself to keep others comfortable ever again. Feel that? That's not just words. That's a decision. And decisions, real decisions, the kind made in silence with nobody clapping, those are the ones that change lives. Here's what I need you to remember. On the hardest days, the days when the doubt comes back louder than the hope, you don't need everyone to believe in you. You don't need permission to heal. You don't need approval to walk away from what's hurting you. You don't need to explain your boundaries to people determined to misunderstand them. You need one thing, just one. You need to decide, deep in your chest, past the doubt, past the fear, past every voice that ever told you you weren't enough, that you are worth protecting, that your peace is worth defending, that your future is worth fighting for, even when your present looks like nothing is working. I've watched people rebuild their entire lives from nothing, from broken, from betrayed, abandoned, counted out, written off. And every single one of them has the same story at the center. A moment where they stopped asking the world for permission and started giving themselves permission instead. Permission to rest, permission to leave, permission to want more, permission to say enough, permission to choose themselves, finally, fully, without apology. That permission is not something anyone can hand you. I can't hand it to you. Your family can't hand it to you. Your friends can't hand it to you. You have to take it. Right now. Today. In this very moment. Take your permission back. So here's what I want you to do. The second this speech ends, I want you to look at your life honestly, without excuses. And I want you to ask yourself, what has been costing me my peace? Is it a person? Then create distance. Is it a job that's draining your soul? Then start building your exit, one step at a time. Is it a belief you've been carrying about yourself that was never true? Then burn it down and replace it with the truth, that you are capable, that you are worthy, that you are not behind, that you are not too late. Is it a version of you that keeps shrinking to keep the peace with everyone except yourself? Then let that version go. Let her go. Let him go. Bury that version with gratitude for getting you this far. And step into the one who finally chooses themselves. Nothing, I mean nothing, is worth losing your peace for. Not money, you can rebuild it. Not people who were never truly for you. Not opinions that won't matter in 5 years. Not approval from strangers who won't remember your name. Your peace is the prize. Guard it like your life depends on it, because it does. I know it's dark right now for some of you. I know some of you are reading this, hearing this, in the middle of your lowest moment. Maybe you feel like nobody sees the battle you're fighting behind closed doors. I see it. And I'm telling you, this is not the end of your story. This is the turn. This is the page where everything starts to shift, quietly, invisibly, before anyone else can see it. Growth always happens in the dark first before it ever shows up in the light. A seed doesn't bloom the moment it's planted. It sits in the dirt, alone, in silence, fighting for its life beneath the surface where nobody is watching, before it ever breaks through the ground. You are in the dirt right now, but you are not dead. You are planted. And what's planted always has a season to rise. Rise for the version of you that almost gave up but didn't. Rise for every night you cried alone and still showed up the next morning. Rise for the people who need to see that it's possible, because your comeback will become someone else's evidence. Rise not because it's easy, but because you decided somewhere deep in your bones that your story does not end in defeat. You were not built to shrink. You were not built to beg for a place at tables that never valued you. You were not built to trade your peace for approval, your dreams for comfort, your fire for someone else's convenience. You were built to rise. You were built to stand back up every single time life knocked you down, bruised, tired, shaking, and stand anyway. You were built for this exact moment, this exact fight, this exact comeback. So stop shrinking. Stop apologizing for wanting more. Stop trading your peace for people and things that were never worth the cost. Value yourself first. Because when you finally do, when you finally truly value yourself, you will discover something extraordinary. You were never lost. You were never behind. You were never too much or too broken or too late. You were becoming. And the version of you that's about to rise from everything you've survived, that version is unstoppable. Not because life will stop testing you, but because you will never again forget your own worth. Go rise. Choose yourself. Your peace is waiting on the other side of that decision. Go take it back.